The U.S. is having trouble building its icebreaker fleet fast enough. While former President Trump championed his America First mantra, the reality is that Washington is now looking towards Quebec for help. How did Canada's shipbuilding strategy put it ahead of the United States? Since the beginning of his second term, President Trump doubled down on his America First policy, leading to more tariffs, manufacturing demands, and an emphasis on reducing reliance on foreign nations. But no country has faced more criticism from him than Canada. Trump has made public statements at various events, including Davos and campaign rallies, criticizing Canada's trade practices. He's called Canada very nasty to deal with, and even proposed tariffs as high as 400% on Canadian dairy exports. In an interview with Time magazine, Trump went so far as to suggest that Canada should become the 51st U.S. state for the relationship to function properly. Despite Trump's rhetoric, the reality on the ground tells a different story, especially when it comes to the Arctic. With Trump's $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill signed into law, a large portion of the funds, over $8.6 billion, has been allocated to the U.S. Coast Guard to expand its icebreaker fleet. This is part of a larger strategic shift to assert dominance in the Arctic, aiming to counter Russia's 57-ship fleet and China's growing interest in the polar region. The bill includes provisions for 3 heavy polar security cutters, 3 medium Arctic cutters, and an additional $800 million for more vessels. There's just one problem. The U.S. can't build them quickly enough. American shipyards are already operating at full capacity, hampered by labor shortages, supply chain disruptions, and the complex designs needed for these vessels. Even flagship projects like the Polar Security Cutter are running years behind schedule. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that the first 3 ships in the program could cost more than $5 billion, with delivery not expected until 2029 or 2030. This delay is forcing U.S. officials to consider what the Trump administration once rejected, seeking foreign assistance, particularly from Canada. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more updates and content. We've got plenty more coming your way. But that's not all. In the past year, Davy has made 2 significant acquisitions. One is Gulf Copper, located in Texas, where the company plans to retrofit shipyards in Galveston and Port Arthur for future U.S. production. The other is Helsinki Shipyard in Finland, a leading European builder of polar-class vessels. Davy's CEO, James Davies, has laid out a clear strategy: build the hulls in Texas, outfit them in Helsinki, and deliver Arctic-ready ships in under 3 years, 1 to 2 years faster than U.S. yards can manage, and at a significantly lower cost. For example, a Finnish-built polar vessel costs around 235 million euros, much less than building one in the U.S. This transatlantic supply chain isn't just a theory. Davy recently secured a $3.25 billion contract with the Canadian government to build its next heavy polar icebreaker. Another vessel, the Polar Class II, is under construction at Vancouver's Seaspan. As the Arctic becomes more accessible and geopolitical stakes rise, Canada is positioning itself as the North American leader in polar shipbuilding, and this shift complicates things for Trump. Right after taking office, Trump rejected the idea of Canadian involvement in U.S. icebreaker production. "We're going to order about 40 Coast Guard icebreakers," he said. Why does Canada want a piece of the deal? But now U.S. Coast Guard officials are quietly preparing to request a presidential waiver to allow foreign shipyards to participate. Current law restricts foreign shipyards from receiving federal contracts unless it's deemed in the national interest. The rationale? U.S. shipyards simply can't meet the deadlines, and Canada has the necessary infrastructure, labor, and expertise to step in. By late 2024, the U.S. faced a pressing reality. With Russia expanding its Arctic military presence and China developing nuclear-powered icebreakers, the U.S. could no longer afford to fall behind. This urgency led to the formation of the Ice Pact in November 2023, a collaboration between the U.S., Canada, and Finland aimed at constructing 70 to 90 ice-capable vessels over the next decade. The pact is part of a broader strategy to counter authoritarian expansion in the Arctic. Under the Ice Pact, Canada brings large-scale production capacity and proximity within North America, while Finland contributes unparalleled polar engineering and rapid production times. Together, these nations have agreed to share shipyard resources, coordinate workforce development, and collaborate on Arctic-focused research and intelligence. This isn't just a theoretical partnership. U.S. Coast Guard planners have acknowledged that Canadian and Finnish shipyards may play a crucial role in delivering vessels quickly enough to meet the demand. Currently, the U.S. fleet has only 3 icebreakers, 2 of which are aging rapidly. Trump's goal of a 40-ship fleet can't happen without external help, and the Ice Pact is making that cooperation a reality. But under U.S. law, a presidential waiver is still required to allow foreign-owned yards to receive federal contracts. Senior acquisition officials are currently preparing that request, highlighting the urgent timelines, lower costs, and proven capabilities of Canadian and Finnish shipyards. What was once considered off-limits is now being put on the table, an uncomfortable reversal for a president who campaigned on the promise of building everything in America. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more updates and content. We've got plenty more coming your way.